Okay, tonight having a chill Sunday night. I am cleaning. I am going to tame this mane and film some stuff. So I thought tonight our body horror installment for this series, I guess, would be a movie that I've already seen that I really don't have to pay attention to. But I feel like it is super underrated and I feel like it needs more attention. So tonight we are watching Excision. I have loved this movie ever since I first saw it about 5 years ago. There are some scenes that are just so visceral, like the dream sequences. You know what? Let's just get into it. I am a massive fan of John Waters, so why wouldn't I love this movie? This one does not have an exciting disc, sadly. Ugh, I look worse than I did when I started this video. I always forget how much I love that ending. The screams, it's fantastic. I love this movie. I will be honest, I've seen it so many times that this is probably my 4th time seeing this movie. I always skip over the cotillion bit because it's whatever to me at this point. It's like a 5-minute sequence, but I always skip over that, to be honest. But I love John Waters' cameo in this. I think it's hilarious. I did do a post on Instagram about this movie, so maybe pop over there and let me know if you liked Excision. Okay, I'm gonna go film some more stuff and then we'll get into this movie. Alright, Spooky fam, today we are talking about a personal favorite of mine, one that I have now rewatched 4 times, Excision. Excision came out in 2012, but the short film to the movie, which I usually am a bigger fan of the short films that come before full-length feature films. I made a whole video about this and I actually liked the short film more than the feature film. Even though I had just watched it last week, I didn't even know it existed until last week doing more research for this video. Anyways, the short film came out in 2008, so there was a good 4-year overlap between both of the movies, but I will get more into that. Let's talk a little bit more in depth about Excision. This movie has an insane cast. Annalyn McCord, Tracy Lords, Ariel Winter, Malcolm McDowell, Matthew Gray Gubler, Ray Wise, and even my personal favorite, John Waters. I'm going to give you my synopsis in my own words and then we'll get into things I really enjoy about this movie. Excision is about a dark and twisted teen, kind of wrapped up within internal conflict, family drama, a bunch of different, teen stuff mixed with a bunch of different gruesome things. Anyways, she is fascinated with the macabre, if you will, and she is dead set on improving the quality of her sick sister's life. So, very first, if you have seen this movie, you know that there are very graphic dream sequences throughout the movie, and I think that's my favorite part. Even about the short film, the dream sequences felt equally as disturbing, but in the full length, they really expanded on it and made it have to deal with themes. I'm just gonna put on the screen here because I don't want YouTube to flag my video, that they're kind of unexpected and they're really gruesome, but I love it. So the next thing I really love about this movie is the fact that John Waters plays a pastor. And if you guys have seen Pink Flamingos, like that just completely contradicts like John Waters, He's just really ucky and yucky and gross and kind of I don't want to say, not a deviant. But to see him play a pastor, it's a hilarious role. Next thing I really like is the main character. Her name is Pauline in the movie. I believe her sister's name in the movie is Grace, but the main character in the short film, her name is Grace, not Pauline. I'm sorry if this gets kind of convoluted. I just really enjoyed this movie a lot, and I just think about this a lot. Okay, anyways. Pauline, the main character, she deals with a lot of internal struggle and internal conflict. You see her like kind of zone out and pray to God about things she's going to do or things that she wants to do, because she kind of feels like if she talks to God about it and kind of lets him know what's happening, like she doesn't have to feel so bad. I think, like, I don't know, I kind of dealt with that a lot when I was a kid, having an internal struggle with spirituality and kind of thinking, okay, please God, like, don't make me throw up right now, kind of thing, because I was so afraid to throw up, and like that was my internal struggle. I digress. Anyways, I enjoy the super cringe moments because they do make you feel super, super cringe. There is a whole like losing virginity storyline, and it's just really cringy. And I will say the bird autopsy in the short film and the full length, my favorite scene in both. And the final, I would say 10-12 minutes of the movie are near perfect to me. The full length ends with Tracy Lords just kind of screaming her head off, and I appreciate that so much because the short film kind of leaves you wanting a little more. So let's talk about the short film for Excision for a minute. It is small but mighty. I think it has a runtime of 18 minutes, but those 18 minutes are essentially some of the more gruesome scenes in the movie mixed in with the final 10-minute scene. If you guys have seen the movie, spoiler alert, there is a lung transplant for a cystic fibrosis. Her sister has cystic fibrosis, so she does an at-home lung transplant. So the final like 10 minutes leading up to that, where she shaves her head, and it just becomes like a masterpiece of like the you know, it's just so, the way that it's just so amazing how it leads up to everything. I do feel now watching the short film that it does have more of a rewatchability, because one of the things, I think the only thing I don't like about the full length for Excision is the whole cotillion storyline. I think it is useless and it doesn't really add much to the story except for like wanting to change the main character, like how she acts and looks, but like whatever, like let your kids be themselves, you know? So I guess I really didn't talk too much about Excision, and that's really because it's a rewatch for me. I've seen it so many times, and I'm trying to use this series to talk more about movies I haven't seen. So tomorrow's movie is Society, and as of right now, I have not watched it, but I do know what the shunt is, and I'm not looking forward to it. So let's talk about ratings for Excision. I'm just rating the full length here. For originality, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, even though it is based on a short. They really put a lot to like bulk the story up, and it does feel like an original property. For gross factor, I will go ahead and give this one a 9.5 out of 10 because some of those dream sequences, man, they are graphic and, oh, itchy nose. Some of the scenes in this movie might be a little too much for some of you to handle. And for scares, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5 out of 10 because it's not really scary. It's just more, it has like a lot of dark humor, and it is really intense and really gross. So overall, that equals out to about a 7.5 out of 10. I don't agree with that. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10 because I love it so much. But just for fun, let's go ahead and rate the short film, since I did like it so much more than the full length. I'm gonna give the short film to Excision a 9.5 out of 10. Because I thought it was damn near perfect for a short film. So that is all for me for today. If you are excited about tomorrow's video, which is Society, give this a thumbs up and, you know, do all the fun stuff. Yikes, I'm probably gonna watch it after I'm done filming this. Anyways, I will see you soon. Sayonara, Spooky fam.